Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. I'm angry, you're angry, we're all angry that we're here for this one, folks. I'm angry, but am I a bird? Am I bird coded in this one? I don't know.
I don't know.
With how livid I am that I had to watch
Did
this
everyone think
yesterday.
of which bird best represents their personality?
Probably.
I'm just saying there were four main birds.
I gotta say, I think I'm more pig coded.
You're
You
pig
think
coded.
you're what's his name? King
That's Haram.
Leonard.
King Leonard, right? They make a
King Leonard.
they make a kosher joke about the pigs not being kosher.
Yeah.
I did kind of giggle at. That's like the biggest sin for me with this Angry Birds movie is just how supremely unfunny it is.
Yeah.
Despite
it's not even good kids humor.
Wait. Hold on. It is not funny, but it is shocking how bad it is at comedy for the cast involved.
They all just phoned
in this making.
Well, that's
they
what
just
I want to
got
say.
the bed.
I wanted to say this was like such a end of the O'Bungler era comedy in that they just literally hired every single big name SNL star from either the present or the kind of the previous generation.
Yep.
So we got like Sudeikis on the top of the ticket, who by far is the worst and most baffling choice for this role, which was, if it was more contemporary and if it was like around his Ted Lasso kind of fame, it's like, why would you pick, even out of this kind of group of cast, why would you pick Jason Sudeikis as your lead? A very kind of he doesn't stand out as having any particular style.
You see, you're overthinking this by like 20 levels. This is a children's animated movie.
No, but
where they're not expecting any of the kids to know any of these voices.
No, but I get why they will, because I get why they hired Josh.
The dialogue might as
role.
well be Peanuts adults speaking while colors flash on the screen.
No, but I think like with Jason Sudeikis, wasn't he just coming off We Are the Millers and like a bunch of other movies?
That's not like that was not any type of breakout hit or any.
People watched We Are the Millers for a very different reason than Jason Sudeikis.
Yes, no, but my point being that
it might have been the female lead.
He was it was because he was coming off as SNL, like he was the comedy.
His post SNL bid for trying to be in movies.
Yeah, so like he was just the hot commodity at the time. So
but that's what I'm saying. Like, was he ever a hot commodity? No, I don't think so.
He just had good agents that were getting him in movies.
Yeah, he is more now because of Ted Lasso and all that, like being more of a mainstream hit.
But he's also like, I think it's also that part of it is he wasn't enormously huge, but still name recognizable, so they could afford to pay him to be the lead, and like he has some comedy chops and whatnot, like, and they're looking for that.
He is by far the least funny member of this whole cast. Not that like a lot of them were, but in terms of like phoned in voice performances, pretty much the only ones who are doing anything worth mentioning are, in a positive sense, as much of a stretch as that is like
Hader.
Bill Hader. No,
always.
Dude, fuck Josh Gad. I will get to that in a moment. Bill Hader, Keegan-Michael Key.
Yes. Doing Bill Cosby. He's doing Bill Cosby as the judge. Like, you can't tell me that is not his Bill Cosby impression.
He was good. And then actually Peter Dinklage as the Great Eagle is actually pretty good.
Was the Mighty Eagle?
Mighty Eagle.
Dude, I'm already showing how little I paid attention to. I watched it in 2 chunks yesterday. I split it up.
See, I found it very inoffensive. I was able to just sit there and it was on.
I did it while I was doing something else. Like I
was on my phone a bit, but like
I was on the exercise bike and just did it in like 45-minute increments and just.
When I sent that text about the pacing being on crack, I was eating lunch while watching it. I stood up, went into the kitchen to put my plates away and like put the food away, and came back out. We were at a completely we were swimming in a lake. Well, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I think that's why I was able to watch it all in one sitting, is that it was a good kids movie.
This is made for Mike's brain.
Yeah, it was made for my brain. That it had a built-in.
This is a movie designed to be cut into TikToks and YouTube shorts.
And watched exclusively in 60-second increments.
What's the scrolling game or whatever that people watch with TikToks?
Subway Surfer.
Yeah,
Subway Surfer. It was like, it had like Subway Surfer built in, like that pacing and that movement, so it kept my attention constantly. I literally was kind of amazed.
That's an indictment against you, I gotta say.
Yeah. No, I'm with you,
Mike. I don't know if you saw it or not, but our new health secretary is going to be implementing labor camps for people with attention spans like yours.
Yeah. So. That's right. I'm on Adderall and I'm a lawyer. So
be prepared to work.
Try to take my bar degree.
This is the start of Mike's meth run.
Hey, I'm already on fucking government issued meth, so
exactly. And when they take that away from you, you're gonna become Jesse Pinkman.
I mean, that's fair.
Someone mentioned
cooking in your apartment.
Matt just mentioned the scene where they're in this lake. And was
the piss scene.
Yeah. The only actual joke that like kind of landed, but then they immediately erased all its goodwill by going for 30 seconds too long.
It's like, so long.
They just like there's the funny bit of the length of the piss. Mm-hmm. That was funny, but then just like the different cuts to the two characters who had been swimming and drinking from it was too much. It was just too much. But that was like the only good gag. That was the only good gag for the entire film, and the rest was just like painful to watch through. It just literally every single bit of Jason Sudeikis, his like the sardonic, sarcastic, angry bird was just so fucking tedious.
He's so incel coded.
Yeah,
I was telling Ben last night on stream. It was like, what was all kids movies have to have a broken down message for children, and what is a broken down message for children in this movie? If society ostracizes you, stay angry, and eventually they'll realize they're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Yeah, Matt and I were talking about this on stream, and I'm like, if you're going to be generous at all, it's like that. This is talking about like the value of community. But it's like, how do you get that? And it's like that you don't have to put in any work to do it. You're actually right all along, and everybody else is a fucking rube.
On that point,
a literal flightless bird.
On that point, it like going back to it being a tail end of the O'Bungler era, that's another reason like it's perfect for it. It's like this liberal idea of like community, that if you're ostracized, like we'll bring you in, we're trying to tend to you and like cater to your needs to bring you into the community. And like they have these communal food that all the birds have, like they have these little glimpses of like kind of cool communal aspects,
but no healthcare.
But they believe in property and like they're proprietarians.
Exactly. But then it's like, everyone
proprietarians
be happy and nice and listen to Judge Bill Cosby, Keegan-Michael Key, and our Lord and Savior, the Mighty Eagle.
You had him as Bill Cosby coded. I had him as Foghorn Leghorn coded.
Yeah, that's more of what I was getting.
Interesting, but he didn't do the stuttering. He did the pauses and shit. It was the cadence.
It's the drawl
that was Cosby-ish.
But he's got the drawl of Foghorn Leghorn.
Fair. I will say this movie did radicalize me. I think the border crisis is real. We need to stop the immigrants from coming here. They just want to steal our eggs.
No more Finnish immigrants. No more.
and it was perfect, representation of the immigrants, because two came in, but really there was a whole boatload.
There's a whole boatload that they're doing the Great Replacement. They're replacing all the birds. They are, they're flooding the voter rolls with all these brain dead pigs.
What do they call it when like one person comes and then like your rest of your family migrates.
I know what you're referring to.
Anchor immigrant.
No, it would be an anchor baby. That's when you have a child here, but it's not chain migration.
There is a term. There is a term for that. I don't remember it.
Whatever.
Hulu, they call that a migrant caravan.
I mean, yeah.
Man, like, did we say we've been live or recording for like 10 minutes? Did we just sum up the whole thing already?
Yeah, I think we're done.
I still stand on business that the entire episode should be about The Nice Guys, because that's the movie that deserves to be talked about, not this.
Dude, a fantastic film. A film that actually opened my eyes to Ryan Gosling as a comedic performer.
Yes.
A film that deserved a sequel more than this movie did, and then I found out while going to rent this movie that this movie got a sequel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even get that far. It was in like looking at the Wikipedia page that I saw that there was a sequel. I was like, no way.
When I typed it in and on my PS5, the sequel came up first.
Both
the sequel is much better critically received if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes.
Hilarious. The first, they both made a decent chunk of money. So
I say the first one made more.
Oh yeah.
So the first one had a budget of 73 million and a box office revenue of over 350. However, there's an extra 100 million for marketing and distribution, but still that's pretty good. Whereas the second one was slightly smaller budget. I think it was like 60 something million. And then I can look at it here. It's like 60 something million.
I think they made like 150
and just over 150. Yeah. So not as big of a return,
but still successful.
I mean, the first one came out and you probably had a bunch of parents like, I'm going to take my kids to the Funny Bird movie. And then they walked out of that one traumatized.
Well,
and then the sequel came out and the kids were like, oh, we got to go see the sequel. And the parents were like, no.
Yeah, 2016 is also closer to the height of the game.
Aquafina is in that one, so immediately, not a fan.
As the only person who watched the sequel out of pure stubbornness and anger last night. This movie, the first movie's mentality.
Does Aquafina do her AAVE black scent in it?
Oh yeah.
Of course, that's a given.
Jesus Christ,
that's in the contract.
She's gotten away from that recently,
dude. What are you talking about? She's just from Queens. That's just the accent.
That's just how you talk there.
If the first movie is coded towards be angry at society and they'll accept you and forgive you eventually and prove that you were right. The second one is just over the head. And this is directly quoted in the movie. I'm going to do my best to say it. Type alpha males cannot stand strong, smart women. And that forgives the strong, smart women for then destroying alpha male society.
Okay.
And it is literally over the top, destroying their islands with ice balls launched from a volcano that she then turns into ice balls filled with lava launched from a volcano to turn the islands into amusement parks.
And who's doing that?
Aquafina.
Aquafina is doing that?
Yes, the Eagle Lady on Eagle Island that we never heard of in the first movie, because they do a literally like there's a third island and then they just like drop it onto the map like a mobile game.
How is the Bird Island not already Eagle Island? They're big mountains shaped like a fucking eagle.
She was the mighty eagle's high school sweetheart that he left at the altar because he wasn't ready for commitment.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I love America.
I'm sorry, are they doing age gap stuff? Because elderly coded Peter Dinklage with Aquafina just doing the Aquafina voice, something the timelines are not matching up there.
See, Aquafina isn't the bad guy. The bad guy is Leslie Jones.
Hilarious.
Hold on.
Aquafina plays the love interest of Red the bird, who is a smart, charismatic leader bird who one-ups him in everything he does and makes him mad. And then
she's
they love
a woman
each other in the end.
Yeah.
She's a woman.
She's also the sister of the yellow bird that we never hear about until the second movie comes out.
So going back to the first movie quickly, Maya Rudolph's
quickly.
character.
That's where we should be. Like, that's the movie
I wanted to plant my flag on the messaging of the second movie.
Red Pill the movie.
Yeah. Perfect for 2019 when it came out. Maya Rudolph's character in the first one, she's like the
therapist.
The therapist. She just like she could shoot shit out of her ass.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
being
did none of you actually play Angry Birds? Because I was a pretty big Angry Birds player.
I played some, and then I played it while I watched this movie today.
Hilarious.
I contemplated downloading it to give it a shot.
But yes, the white bird launches egg bombs out of her bunghole when you launch them.
Well, they didn't make it seem like it was eggs in the movie, though.
Well, then she'd be killing her kids.
They didn't want to have the birds trying to save the eggs using eggs as weapons.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But I was just like, is she just shitting glitter?
More or less.
Yeah, I remember obviously red. I remember the bomb. I remember the
yellow zoomer.
I remember the boomerang. I remember the boomerang.
And the big dude was great.
And I remember the eagle, right? You know, it's like you would get like a
it's like
your special
level.
I never got an eagle.
Your special. I mean, you would get them.
I never played enough.
Very rarely. And like
but you could also buy them.
You'd have like a limited stock of them. Yeah,
I've never paid money for.
You could just nuke a level.
I was about to refute you if you were going to say I've never paid money for mobile games.
No.
You on
Pokemon
principle.
Go. Come on.
I thought it was funny that they paid Sean Penn to just grunt several different times. As the big boy, as Terrence.
He was Terrence. Okay. Yeah. Fuck.
Yep. Dude, and he was great as Terrence. Terrence was great.
What is Sean Penn's deal?
He's a CIA asset, is what Sean Penn's deal is. You can't convince me otherwise.
It tracks. It definitely tracks. I did like Tony Hale as the gay mime.
Yes.
My god, that was fun. That was again giving him a paycheck to play a silent character who
speaks twice.
Yeah. So this movie is, obviously a product of the Finns. Those goddamn pickled fish loving bastards.
This is a movie you give your children in Finland so they can survive the cold, dark depression of winter.
No, they made this movie because in Finland they had done a successful cartoon show of it.
Did it get released?
No, it's in Finnish. I mean, maybe that has
that's what I'm saying. Because I thought I saw a cartoon when I looked it up to watch the movie as well.
This movie has the craziest offshoot.
Angry Birds tunes. As far as I can tell, the voices they're all names I cannot pronounce because there are too many vowels and too many consonants together.
I still think my favorite offshoot of this movie is how there was an Angry Birds the movie, the game.
Oh wait, there was a game adaptation of the movie adaptation.
Yes.
Jeez. talk about Ouroborosing, man. Like we're gonna get ourselves.
And then I can't wait for the movie adaptation of the game adaptation of the movie adaptation of the game
of the sequel. Only of the sequel. We forget the first one though. We don't talk about the first one.
I mean, critics love the sequel. That was 77% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You're kidding. You're fucking with me. That can't be true.
I sent it in the chat.
That cannot be true. Where I don't remember seeing that.
Who are the critics?
Tomato meter from critics, 84% from fans.
Holy Jesus!
Angry Birds movie won 44% from critics, 47% from fans.
Oh my God.
A near 100% turnaround in rating.
Dude, that's nuts. And also that's so damning that both critics and and viewers are essentially in lockstep.
And the end of good things being made, it can be seen in that change right there.
The funniest part is the second movie is identical in runtime to the first movie, but includes a 25-minute subplot that they keep cutting back to of baby birds chasing eggs that they lost in the ocean.
They're trying to do like their Ice Age thing with the squirrel.
Yeah, no, it's literally like a Pixar like short before the movie, but just cut throughout the film.
So one thing I wanted
before back to the cartoons before I forget. It was released more than just Finland, and it's silent. There's no voice acting, and they're very, very short episodes, like 5 minute long.
Not according to the Finnish one. There is a full list of voice actors.
They don't. It's a fucking silent comedy. Silent slapstick comedy is what it said, and I just pulled up an episode and scrubbed through it.
Mike watched it at 5 times speed.
Yeah, no wonder you can't comprehend human speech, even if it is Finnish.
No, I scrubbed. I didn't.
So the one interesting thing here is that the studio behind the game, Rovio, they like spun up an in-house animation studio to work on this. And I wanted to say, like, call out, there were like glimmers and like specific shots where it was like actually decent animation, and then it would just go back to being like Pixar knockoff fucking slop. It would be like these close-ups, like when with Red clenching his bird fist, and like the feathers like are really well animated, and then it's just like back to the pigs having this uncanny smoothness to them. That was just kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, where are the micro hairs on the pigs? Anyone who's been around pigs knows they ain't smooth. They got a lot of fur on them.
Yeah, smooth. They've basically got human body hair on them.
Yeah.
That's because pigs are bad people transformed into animals to suffer through a life in filth. That's why we eat pork.
I'm looking up the Angry Birds 2 movie reviews, and it's just like, how did this the Reddit thread opinion on Angry Birds 2 the movie ?
Oh boy.
The comedy is great, and it's way better than the first one.
So the major difference between the first and second movie is that the second movie, much smaller cast, and they don't even try to pretend that there's a game that they're like attaching to. There's no slingshot. There's no destruction of pig towers.
Hilarious.
It is basically a spy thriller.
There's no literal tutorial sentence from Red where he says, hey, just look at the path of the prior bird and adjust your aim.
Yeah, they didn't leave the dots in the air.
Someone brought it up, and like I made a comment but never came back to it. How much I loathe Josh Gad.
Is there anyone on this planet who likes Josh Gad?
His whole shtick. I mean, kids who like Frozen, yeah.
But
honestly, man, the only like role I can remember enjoying seeing Josh Gad in is playing the fucking Toady in the Beauty and the Beast movie, because he gets bullied by Gaston.
He does.
Like that's the only thing I've enjoyed seeing him in. Like, I mean, honestly,
he's in the live action Cats, right?
He's a little pain pig about it too. He fucking loves it. He just wants to suck Gaston off.
I mean, don't we all? Gaston's an alpha male, strong, hard body, good opinions, doesn't read. I mean, come on now. If anyone watched stream from Saturday last night, they would see that clearly I'm struggling with reading.
I mean, I'm anti-reading, so
it was rough. It was rough at times.
I'm with you.
Really putting the engineers are illiterate thing to putting some truth to the joke.
Not a joke.
It's cool, man.
We like sign up for engineering school because it has the least amount of literature courses.
It's cool. 50% of the country reads below a 6th grade level.
54% cite properly.
Okay, 54%.
Get the numbers correct. Come on.
54% of the country reads it below a 6th grade level. And then one of my coworkers sent me a like 6th grade reading level like test sheet. And it's literally like it's a step above C Spot Run.
Yeah.
It's like Bill likes soccer. Soccer is fast.
I'll never forget the fact that the instructions written on the back of condom boxes are written at a 3rd grade literacy level, just in case.
That's a little high to me, to be honest.
It's the people who read below that who need them the hardest.
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones not using them, so.
They're the ones who should use them.
Yeah, no, for sure. Forced sterilization. Maybe RFK.
All right.
Maybe RFK will bring it about.
All right. Going back to the red pill corner, like this movie.
I'm scrolling through Josh Gad's IMDb page, and
he was a New Girl.
It's just fucking.
And he was a little.
This is such a great episode. We're scrolling through Josh Gad's IMDb. We're red pilling ourselves.
Hey, we're only 30 minutes in.
I know, that's the worst part. I looked down and was like, "Holy shit, we don't have anything close to an episode done yet." Let's talk about the plot of this movie.
This might be a 45-minute.
I do want to talk about the themes of this movie though a little more explicitly because
take it away.
Red literally is just, he hates everyone. He blames everyone else for his own problems.
He can't fix his eyebrows.
You actually, you 100% can. As someone with bushy ass eyebrows, you can shave that shit. You can pluck that shit.
No, but it grows back. It's a lot of maintenance.
There's
a lot of work.
On that island
it's a lot of maintenance. You know how much maintenance women go through on a week-to-week basis to maintain a level of acceptable exposure?
These birds have opposable thumbs. Someone could thread his eyebrows. He also is a xenophobic, untrusting douchebag.
Okay. First off, before you go too far,
loser.
They did destroy his house.
Yeah.
Immediately upon showing.
The only bit that's
if the migrants destroyed your house,
come on. If they showed up and everyone loved them and then they burned your house down, would you be happy?
Yeah. Well,
he can't control that he's an adult orphan.
Exactly.
You gotta have sympathy.
I forgot he's an adult orphan.
Because they don't talk about it. You just like see him hatching in a flashback.
There's like 2 scenes in where the kid's like, he doesn't have any parents. Let's make fun of him.
It's because he gets hatched in the Lost and Found.
They cover that a lot more in the second movie. Okay. In the second movie, they make him go on a speed dating thing. And they touch a lot on the like, oh, like, tell me about your parents. He's like, I don't have parents. I'm angry because of that.
I'm going to go brood in the corner.
Yeah. I'm going to become Batman.
That's what I say. I'm Birdman. I'm Birdman.
Oh, he also worships a like has been washed up fake, image of what he considers to be the ideal male like bird.
Yeah, the one that they say has abs on his abs.
Yeah, and then it's just Elon Musk.
Doesn't talk to women.
He can only, view the world through the valence of pop culture.
This is true.
Something none of us are familiar with, I'm sure.
Yeah. This is true. I just think this
he actually has some interesting foils in the other birds around him.
Is he more explicitly anti-woman in the sequel?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
That's a main sticking point until he gets frozen in a block of ice alongside Aquafina and then realizes the errors of his ways and that he can't do it all by himself and he needs a partner in life just like he needs a partner in saving them. And then she saves him by herself.
I mean, like, that just so happens there's like one good woman. That doesn't mean the rest of them are like, fuck, man.
Because that's one thing that's not brought up at all. Like that they totally missed that vector in the first one. There's no they're not doing gender in the first movie.
Well, he does.
No, they have Kate McKinnon playing the anger management bird.
Not Kate
McKinnon.
But he does.
But he
yes,
doesn't.
It is.
he doesn't dislike her because yeah, she's actually no, that is Maya
Maya
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Kate McKinnon is
Who's
doing
Kate McKinnon then?
she's doing some
she's
other
in
ones.
that movie somewhere.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I was
she's
gonna
like
say
I think
Maya
got multiple
Rudolph
roles.
is the therapist.
Okay.
Stella and Ava. I don't I know who those
are those the birds who he saves the egg for at the end?
Or maybe
Yeah.
the one that he
it's the mom at the beginning.
Yeah,
the
mom
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the pink one who like kind of doesn't really have much of a role. She's just one of the ones that like
truly was just SNL
he kind
cast.
of flirts with a little bit, kind of.
Did Lorne Michaels have any like executive producing roles?
This is Sony.
Does this count as an SNL movie?
This was Columbia Productions, and then the Rovio studio, and then distributed by Sony. So I don't NBC. I don't think has any because it's Columbia. Columbia's not related.
No, but Lorne. I was just like
Columbia is a country.
Yeah, it's part of Columbia Pictures is part of Sony. Sony Motion Picture Group.
Yeah.
So
no, I was just more joking to
all owned by the Coca-Cola Company.
What?
Really?
So Columbia Pictures, its parent company is no, not anymore. But like its original parent company from 82 to 87 was the Coca-Cola Company.
Okay, that kind of makes sense for that time frame. Now it would be weird.
I mean, if they made this movie and they didn't have Coke advertisements in it, then it's not a real Coke subsidiary.
Man,
you said earlier that Bill Hader was one of the few people not phoning it in this movie. I absolutely think he was phoning it in this movie.
I just don't. What? Bill Hader's the villain.
Oh.
Are you stupid?
Sorry. I was thinking the mime.
No, I mean, I just think it's like a certain base level of Bill Hader that like is slightly above others. He's just also just kind of more. I don't know. His voice is just more inherently funny. I wouldn't say.
In the second movie, they reveal that Pig Society has a drone technology, and that they use the drone technology to spy on the birds. And there's a throwaway joke that he has watched Red masturbate.
What's the framing of the joke?
He goes, "Wait, so you've been spying on us? Yep. So you've been seeing everything? Yep, including my yep, and it's disgusting."
Could have been a poop joke.
Well, this comes right after he finished the speed dating and is lying on the floor of his hovel, covered in popcorn and butter.
What was he do? He had the Dune, but the Dune 2 popcorn butter.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. This movie has not been reviewed on Worth It or Woke yet. Was really hoping to get their insight.
There's very few women. The entire moral fiber of this movie is society is wrong. You're correct. Stay your ground. Be an angry man.
But does it pass the Baskin whatever
the Bechdel test? Absolutely
test?
Not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I don't think there's ever a scene where there's more than one woman bird.
Yeah, no, there's not. I don't think it passes the Bechdel test.
The court scenes where the entire town is there.
No,
still wouldn't. It doesn't fit the other portion.
I was hoping to find
each other about things that aren't about men.
Yeah, I was hoping to find that like Steven Crowder had tweeted that this was a perfect movie to show your children or something like that.
Teaches good values to your children. Man, I feel like I had another point, but then I've lost it because this movie just has taken it out of me. Like, it was just about they make these attempts at the adult humor, right? They they do like the fake swearing, like clucking instead of fucking, and they do shit like that. But it's so hack, it's so bad that it's just like it's not funny.
I can only speak for myself as a child in this situation. But I was very aware of what swear words were from an extremely young age. Yeah. So when people would be like, mother trucker or anything like that, it wasn't like, ooh, you're saving me. I just know what you're saying.
Yep. I mean, this is targeted at children who like don't really even have full sentience yet. You know, so
I thought you were about to say children who don't have parents.
No, they're not fully aware. They may know bad words, but they don't like that a word. They may have been told that a word is bad, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah, this is
what
like
it means.
I mean, I started swearing. I remember I had a pact with I won't say their names, but first names Michael and Jacob in third grade that we would swear and not tell our parents. So
there is some exciting news actually, and that's that they announced the Angry Birds movie 3 in June of 2024. So
hell yeah.
Matt, Matt, you have he's doing the Shane gun McGiff, but
I'm sorry, what? The Shane gun
the Shane Gillis gun gif where he points the gun.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to.
Anyways, yeah. So Angry Birds movie 3 will be coming out at some point in the next couple of years.
In Comrades group theater trip.
No, just a Matt only episode where
I'm not allowed to go to a movie theater by myself for that movie.
You can watch it in your home,
particularly for a kids movie.
I would like one ticket to Angry Birds 3, please. Chris Hansen walks out. Sir, please step over here and take a seat.
Say, sir, we have called the FBI. You are under citizen's arrest.
Your computer is being searched as we speak.
There's a lot of Japanese anime games on here. I don't know. Who did you romance in Persona 5? The teacher.
Also problematic, but not for the other reasons. But you're playing as a high schooler. Damn, man. This shit's cooking me right now. Like, I've got very little to add to this because I don't want to go through
45.
I don't want to go through the plot of this. Like,
there is no plot.
We've already said it all. That he gets angry. He goes to anger management.
He gets mad. He goes to see the eagle. The eagle is a failure. The pigs steal all the eggs.
Hold on. I do love the commentary on the idea that therapy and anger management are completely worthless. He doesn't actually apply anything really that he learns except for deciding that people can be helpful and the convenient times they are.
The therapist also shows utter contempt for him.
Yeah, for them
in the process as well,
and is angry as well.
Very funny.
And then the therapist also starts dating one of the clients. Super problematic.
Also violates doctor ethics rules by dating one of her patients. Yeah, not good.
Not just doctor rules. It's a whole thing with psychiatrists where when someone is emotionally available to you and open, they're supposed to be in therapy, you're not supposed to then use that as a weapon against them to be able to date them, essentially.
Well, I mean, in every profession, same thing with lawyers. Can't date someone who or have sexual relations with someone who is a client first. If they were relations,
don't dip your finger in the company ink is always a good fucking rule. It's not just because you're fucking lawyers.
No, I know, but that's just an ethical, actual ethical standard. And I think it'd be dipping the tip of your something else in the ink, not your finger.
Yeah, well.
You see, we don't have that problem in engineering because I just fuck all the machines that we make.
Yeah, well.
Part of the process.
That actually reminds me of a tweet I saw that was very spot on, and it was the reason the aviation industry is still actually successful and not killing all of us is because at least half of them just want to fuck the planes.
I mean, you gotta employ the autists somehow, right?
Yeah. Dude, we could have awesome trains.
We could.
The one person we haven't spoken about that is in this cast that I also was kind of disappointed in was Danny McBride.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in it.
He's one of the leads. He's bomb.
He's bomb.
It's really bad.
Yeah, he's
which
bad.
is disappointing because I love Danny McBride.
I know, me too. He's usually always pretty good, but he definitely phoned this one in.
Yeah, just getting that check.
I can't wait for the next season of Righteous Gemstones. Can't come soon enough.
How could you say he's phoning it in when he realizes he needs to blow up the plane ramp because the planes need a ramp to take off? Really great engineering on the pig's part. And he pulls a mini Nagasaki.
Yeah, he just nukes that town.
They also the other interesting thing is they decide against any attempt at diplomacy or conversation with the pigs, and essentially immediately jump to nuking their entire city.
Well, the pigs did steal all their children, so
yeah.
Come on,
and we're gonna eat them.
That
they actually do joke about that in the second movie when the pigs try to the pigs try to create a peace treaty to go after the third island. So they send over a balloon with a message on it, and it's like peace treaty. Like, what do they think, we're stupid? And then they send another message over, and it's like, yes, we think you're stupid, but no, we need to work together on this one.
They're using
all in this
poop balloons, like North
Korea.
There
was a poop balloon, essentially. The pigs did send over balloons full of crabs.
Crabs you could eat, or
that's an attempt at an adult joke. I am sure when they do that and they use crabs. Probably
that's the first 15 minutes of the movie are essentially the two islands launching shit back and forth at each other.
In the game, do the pigs, are they trying to steal eggs? Is that something that happens? I just I always just remember them just being enemies. I don't remember.
They're enemies who have eggs that you're trying to get back.
Okay. So in that way, it is actually a pretty decent adaptation of. Again, it's a mobile game.
I was going to make the comment that they actually do a decent job of adapting the mobile game when they get to what we will call climax of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I won't argue with those statements.
They bring out the slingshot and the trampolines and the pig architecture is all accurate. I did like the bit where they launch the planes and one of them goes up and then it immediately falls apart.
Yes.
I want to say that only Matt will appreciate this, that the pigs here, they're just 40K orcs.
Yep.
They're green and they're stupid, and the only thing, they have all this crazy engineering feats though, and it's just because it just works through the power of belief. Basically, they got that's it.
They worship the god of cunning brutality and the god of brutal cunning.
Yeah, dude. My favorite thing about 40K orcs, is just that if they believe hard enough, it becomes reality. Hence why if you paint things red, it'll go faster.
That's awesome.
And they do.
That's awesome.
Red ones go faster.
That's a great lore bit.
It's so good.
It's a whole thing. They don't need spacesuits in space or something like that because they just believe they don't need oxygen.
Yeah, they just exist on these space hulks, and just because they can. It's because basically the whole species are psyker. They're all psychers.
Okay,
but not, they don't really know it. There are some, I forget what they call them in the army list, but there are some that are explicit psychers. But then it's basically the whole species has this psychic thing, and so it's if they believe something will happen, it'll work. That's why they can just hammer different parts together, and it creates this fucking car. It creates a vehicle that works and goes really fast because they painted it red.
Do you think the kids watching this movie got the red rum joke?
No, I was thinking the same thing as well. That's another again attempt at here's a joke for the adults that were dragged to see this, but at the same time, it's that just came out of nowhere. And
it's also not accurate, by the way, as a king head. The twins don't say red rum. They say, come play with us, Danny.
Right.
Red rum is what he writes on the mirror.
Yeah.
Wow. Crap,
yeah,
man.
that was...
I was just going to say something else, too, about that. It's just this example of this... well, here's what it was. It's like you think about like they're trying to make jokes for the adults that had to be brought to see this type of thing, but like
I like to imagine that the parents all did like rock, paper, scissors in the parking lot and were like, you're the parent who has to go see this with the kids.
But it's
Suck
like,
it, nerd.
What kid in 2016
gets that
like that's of this age, that's of the appropriate age for the film, actively plays Angry Birds? Has played Angry Birds. Because Angry Birds
it's an idle game,
has been around for so long at that point that like that's
you say so long. I'm pretty sure it came out in like 2012.
I don't think that's true.
That had to have been like 08 or 07. That's an early iPhone, like beginning
2009. So 15 years.
The original Angry Birds was remade and released as Rovio Classics Angry Birds on March 20th, 2022.
Yeah, I remember when that happened.
Yeah, I remember that they've been like beefing up some stuff and like kind of rebranding.
I mean, they did a whole bunch of like there was like Angry Birds Star Wars released on console. Imagine paying $60 for that. Oh
my god, what? Jesus
Ben,
Christ. I think these fins need to be stopped.
I think that's like a fair question to ask for the time period, but I would say like clearly enough because it made like $350 million in box office is not a small amount.
Off 170, including all marketing and all that shit. Like, yeah, that's a pretty good.
It made double, which means it over broke even because it's a little bit of the cost of production is like 70% of cost of production plus marketing times 2 equals break even point.
Yeah, it is surprising in its success, and particularly just because I feel like who is this really for? I don't feel like the kids that maybe would have gone.
The kids who were age appropriate for this game, again, the talking, that's all Peanuts adult voices. Wah 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 wah. While bright colors flash on the screen, what I'm saying is Funny Bird does things.
I highly doubt that there was a huge demographic of kids dragging their parents to go see it, right?
Yeah, it was parents just being like, this will occupy my child for an hour and a half.
And I'm somewhat familiar with the source material, so let's do it. It seems largely inoffensive. Meanwhile, it's radicalizing your kids.
yeah.
Become antisocial weirdos.
Gun to your head, and your choices in 2016 are the Minions movie.
Goated, by the way, we do love the Minion franchise.
Fuck yeah,
we do love Gru. I'm a Gru head here. I'm a casual Gru enjoyer. I haven't seen the most recent.
I have seen. Yeah, no, I am also a Gru head, and I have seen all of them.
I have not seen the most recent one. I remember like Matt and I were like, we're doing something, and wasn't it when we were just in Montpelier, and were they playing that?
It was on the rotunda of the...
we were saying like we're getting to that time of the year and like of our age as well that like I have no idea what any of these movies are, and it was Despicable Me. It was the only one that I recognized. Like some of these are like weird Christmas movies or things that I have never heard of.
Beetlejuice was on there too, and it was one of those like you're starting to get out of your why is that still in theaters?
Oh boy. Boy. I think we're at about, probably 45 minutes. Because I don't remember exactly when we started.
We started pretty quickly.
Yeah, we didn't linger too much, but oh boy. This was surely a movie of all time.
It was a movie.
I'm glad they kept it tight to like, I'm glad this wasn't an hour and 45 or 50 minutes. Like, at least
I'm going to refute you there. This movie felt like it dragged at an hour and 22 minutes before credits.
It did feel a little long to me.
It did its job.
It's one of those where this movie could have just been 2 24-minute animated show runtimes.
Fair.
Yeah, maybe it didn't bother me because I split it. It didn't bother me in terms of length because I split it up like that.
I mean, I felt it in my bones because I watched my DualSense Edge finish charging I was like, oh, I could just shut this movie off. I could just shut it off and play Stellar Blade and then watch it with dinner and ruin my dinner. I was telling Ben on stream, I've been like readily moving through the free movies on YouTube and just like destroying my algorithm because like I watched Balls of Fury, I watched the live action Scooby Doo.
Those two are great movies.
Yeah.
And now it's recommending things like The Interview, The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Yeah, those are some legendary stinkers right there. I can see why they go from A to B there, but like in my most cultured and studied opinion,
Balls of Fury to The Interview, I fully understand the connecting thread there.
I get it. It's just like of an era of like, bad, quote unquote, bad comedies that are still really fucking funny. And
Balls of Fury, I was fucking rolling around laughing.
Things that would not get made today.
No.
The Male Concubines.
Dude, there's actually a pretty stacked cast there. I love George Lopez and obviously Christopher Walken. It just kills it. It absolutely murders it. James Hong is actually really fucking good.
Yes. Oh my God. He might be my favorite part.
Yeah.
The rest of this episode shall be spent talking about Balls of Fury.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think we're
another game adaptation movie because ping pong is in fact a game.
True.
If you squint hard enough, you could say it's Pong that they're adapting.
One of the oldest, most noble sports.
All right. Ratings?
I just want to leave you all with this cursed knowledge, and that's for some reason Jason Sudeikis was nominated for a Kids' Choice Awards for this movie under the category of Most Wanted Pet.
Jesus.
I mean, we have to preface this a little bit here. Preface this. You might understand this joke a little better, Andrew, but the kids at Nickelodeon don't necessarily know what they're talking about anymore. They gave Mitchell Trubisky the MVP award for the Nickelodeon cast of that Bears Steelers game.
I would just like
2021.
I would just like to say that's just Nickelodeon choosing those things.
I was gonna say like the kids are not choosing the nominations there. They may get
I just don't understand the Most Wanted Pet. You want a sentient, angry, racist bird? Like, fuck.
It's because the Finnish studio.
Yeah, wait a second though. People have African gray parrots all the time.
I guess that does describe parrots.
What is a parrot if not an angry sentient bird? And then the racist part, that just depends on who's raising it.
Yeah.
Apollo, the African gray, he'd probably be pretty racist if his owners weren't. Apollo, what's this? Dirty.
Brock?
Yeah,
I do love that Apollo can identify Shrek, but calls him Shrock.
He can tell. Well, no, he can tell the difference between Shrek and then the Shrek Croc, which is Shrock.
Oh.
Incredible.
But when he gets frustrated because he can't get Shrek right and keeps calling him Shrock, he switches it to Wario.
Dude, shout out to Apollo and friends on Instagram. I'm a big fan.
Smarter and more literate than the average American. What I would
do for a pistache right now, you never. I can't say.
I would list 4 things for a pistache right now: Bell, metal, hat, Wario,
bottle. All right. I think this actually gets a surprisingly high adaptation rating.
Agreed. I would agree.
I gotta say,
there's not much to adapt in a mobile game.
So like I want to say I want to give it like an 8, an 8.3 for its adaptation.
I was probably going to give it an 8.5 just because it's an inoffensive B. They slingshot, they break things. There's TNT, there's trampolines.
I just
use all of the birds.
I can't give it anything but a solid, like a low grade B, because it's just like there's not much to adapt. So you can't you can't credit them too much.
But if you asked me to give an adaptation rating to Angry Birds 2, I would give it a 0 because there is no game adaptation in it.
Right.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'll go 7.7.
Harsh critic here.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want kids to have a highly rated adaptation?
No, we can't have fun here. I'll go 8 too.
That gives us an average of 8.2, 8.175.
Nice.
I think that's fair. A B minus. Because again, I think it absolutely takes everything that's basically in the game. It really does. But that, in my opinion, again, you can't rate it that high just because there's not that much there. Of no fault to the movie, right? And no fault to them.
No, I mean, I played Angry Birds because it was a brainless physics sim.
I was a doodle jump head. Over. I played Angry Birds, but I was definitely a doodle jump head.
I was Angry Birds while everyone else was Clash of Clans.
I never played Clash, and like that's too sweaty. That's too sweaty.
I also had a classmate who was big into Candy Crush and would always forget to shut the sound off on his phone when he would start class and would always get caught immediately booting it up.
In terms of movie, I'm like really torn for this one, right? Because it's I'm not going to give it high by any means.
Whoa.
But like we've watched some real dog shit.
Yeah, this is still nowhere near the worst stuff we've watched, in my opinion.
I would say it is right there with it.
We've watched some real dog shit. And while this is not good, movie bad, folks. I don't know. I can't in good conscience like be like, yeah, it's on the same level of the fucking of Borderlands or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever other adaptations I've memory hold since then.
Halo
is bad.
Oof.
I don't know. I give this like a 4.7 because I can't give it I think 5 is too generous.
Gross. Take it one up or one down. You can't give it 47. That's too good of a number.
That's still an F, dude. That's still that's still a failing grade.
Yeah, but that was Hep Daddy's number in football in high school, and I can't.
It's not going to average out to that, so you're fine. You're giving it a 2?
I mean, I can't really in good conscience. This movie is attention span crack. This movie does not do anything that a movie should do. There's no rising action. There's no coming to moment for the hero. This movie doesn't make anyone better.
It doesn't.
I actually feel like I'm a worse person for watching this movie. I came out of this movie and I was like, you know what? Maybe society is wrong. Maybe I should just continue to watch
the second. Blows my mind.
For content. Okay, so 2. So we got 4.7 and a 2. Who's next?
I'm going 3.9.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go 4.1.
That gives us a grand average of 3.675, so 3.7.
Yeah.
Solid.
That's fair.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back.
Infinite points too high.
I'd have to like actually listen to these things because I haven't like I don't put them like in the show description or something. But like I kind of want to go out and make a spreadsheet of tracking.
See where we are.
Tracking
we need an
all
intern.
Our rankings. Yeah, folks, if you want
into an end of year blog post where you do the yearly adaptation rankings.
Yeah,
and what we had at the top and what we had at the bottom.
Yes, if you want to apply to be the Campaign Comrades unpaid internship.
College credit.
Yeah. Are you going to be a communications major? Boy, howdy, do we have something that'll be exactly what you're doing in your actual job.
Yeah, go find Matt's email and email him there.
Which one? I have 7.
So that's the best way to get in touch with us.
No, DM me directly on Blue Sky.
I've been thinking of like migrating, but I've been thinking of like adding a Blue Sky account just because try to capitalize at some level of people going there, but like I don't really want to make the effort.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
That's kind of how I feel, but yeah,
I'd rather spend $50 on an Instagram ad than fucking
spend 5 minutes making a free account.
Yeah, but then you got to post to it. Then you got to post to
it. What I'm saying is the $50 would be more worthwhile and get more people than the free Blue Sky account.
I find both of those propositions incredibly doubtful.
You're wrong because it does work.
I doubt that completely.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking the difference between two viewer, say two listeners and one listener. So yeah, I don't really care.
Well, I would say 5 and 1, but
yeah, I don't really care. Folks, man, this was rough. This one was rough for me. This one was tough. Like I thought I had more to say going into it, and then I realized that just nope, brain empty. This movie has drained me of any vigor to kind of get any worthwhile analysis. And we really shot ourselves. We really shot ourselves in the foot by being like, yeah, here's the ideological poison at the heart of this movie within the first 5 minutes. I was like, well, I've got nothing else to add to that.
So no one ever answered what bird they associate themselves with.
I think I probably, as much as it pains me to say, because I don't like Danny McBride's performance here, is probably Bomb because he's got some type of gastrointestinal issue going on.
He's also a bit of a philosophizer.
I don't do poetry, so, but there is some bit of parallel there. Again, if you identify with Josh Gad's character, we can't be friends anymore.
I identify with the big red.
I'll forcibly remove you from this call.
The big red guy, I forget his name.
Terrence.
Is that how you get out of the podcast? I am Josh Gad.
I am Gad.
That's so weird is that I can remember Terrence's name, but I'm just like trying to remember the rest of the cast names, and that's it.
Red. Bomb, Terrence.
I think Josh Gad is Chuck.
Yes, you are right. You are correct.
I think I only remember that because I just was scrolling through the cast list.
I remember that because they showed the words on the screen.
All right, Matt and Andrew, who do you identify with, and who speaks to you? I could also do the gay mime. You know, I could also do that.
Yeah.
Oh my!
We're all a gay mime inside.
I identify with Red because I hate society. I want to live on my beach. I get mad when they move me back into society and try to reincorporate me.
But you're clever and funny, and Red is just deeply unfunny and a deeply unlikable person. So I disagree. I push back there.
I identify with King Leonard because I think birds are dirty and gross, and we should just eat them. And
birds aren't real, so
they're gone.
That is true. This is the man that is very, very concerned with bird flu. Like they may as well. He should be on like a government panel for his bird flu concerns. So
he won't have to worry about that come January. There will be no government panels about bird flu. Bird flu will be outlawed. Discussion about it will not be allowed.
The bird flu won't exist anymore come January 20th.
Yeah. All I'm hearing is my Christmas gift for Andrew is going to be a rooftop pigeon coop.
Perfect.
What the fuck? I'm looking at this cast stuff as like a non-entity character who maybe had one line. Fucking Charlie XCX.
What? For what? Which one?
Miss Brat Summer herself was Willow, which is just a bird with a hat, with like a beanie hat on.
The first one? In the first one or the second?
I'm looking at the first movie cast list.
I did not know Charlie XCX was even like a entity in 2000.
She's been around for a while.
You want to know how non-pop culture coded I am? All I know about that is that's one of the Zoomer pop stars.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Right. If we could say one of the reasons, I don't even want to be, I don't want to be mean that way and say she's the reason that Kamala Harris lost. There are so many reasons why Kamala Harris lost. there's a
not
huge
even
thing
close
like,
to one of the reasons why.
But they're like Kamala is Brat. They are both the same. They both have fruits as a representative of them. Even though I don't think does coconut count as a fruit? I don't know. I don't think so.
Coconut is a nut.
Yeah, they're like like Kamala's got coconut and Charlie XCX has an apple, and there were some other ones that they tried to say like, well, make these comparisons, and they tried to use her branding as well.
I watched an hour and 22 minutes of this movie yesterday, and this conversation is making me dumber.
Good. We all need that. All right.
I'm gonna stop playing Stellar Blade on my PS5, and I'm gonna have to start playing Leapfrog.
Dude, let's go.
IRL.
Let's.
No, do you not know Leap? It was an educational console brand from the early 2000s
for kids. Yeah.
I do remember.
All right, folks.
It's gonna be my gift to you for Christmas, Mike. We're gonna get your brain back.
I think that's it for us today. Like, again, this was a bit of a stretch, anyways. Dude, they had I'm looking at it now. Yeah, Leapfrog. They had like the kid laptops and little like
little tablets.
Things. They had all sorts of stuff.
All right, you can buy me one of their readers, and it can help me read.
Yeah,
help you learn phonics.
Help you learn to read good and do other good things good too.
It's important.
All right, boys and girls and NBs. We will see you next time in some place around here. You can follow us on
Just
Twitch.
Boys, no girls allowed. That's what this movie taught me.
Yeah, twitch.tv/campaign comrades. Yeah, I think that's it. I got nothing else.
That's all, folks.
Check out the Patreon. I'm writing a review for Metaphor Refantasia this week.
Ooh, what you're gonna say about this movie?
No. Yeah. No, that's why like I redid my schedule for the blog thing. It's like I realized, I never have anything more to say about the movie adaptations. Yeah. Like, nope, never. So let's look forward to that. I'm excited to write that one because I love it. My game of the year. We will see ya next time.